Hello everyone, this is me, Dusty Circuit here, and here's yet another video of my series of all the video games I've played. And really to recap, last episode I've talked about, I began talking about, what are all the games really, at least I would consider from the modern era, and also kind of going into the time in my life where I began to diversify from Minecraft into playing some other games. And then not to say that I am leaving Minecraft. In fact, I still play Minecraft almost daily today, but it's a time where I actually at least in part thanks to my friends, I have broadened my horizon and started to play other games. And really picking up where I left off last video, at least a lot of these games were games that me and Lucario would play together. And I've talked about this in a lot of my videos, but if anybody just tuning in to this one, although I highly recommend you watch this video if you're watch this series of videos from beginning from the beginning, or if you don't have enough time for that, at least go to the previous video, the previous video from this one. Is me and Lucario, a part of our relationship is so we first started just by playing Minecraft, but then as he got burned out of Minecraft, we kind of moved on to other kinds of games. And he kind of has, to an extent, a form of ADHD, which in some cases is kind of annoying for me, because it's like I get involved in doing one particular game, but then he's like already move on to the next game. But on the upshot of this, it has also kind of given me a reason to try play other games that like I kind of maybe I otherwise wouldn't have even thought about trying on my own. And so really, to get on with the video, I'm not really going in order. I'm not really going in chronological order anymore, just because I don't entirely remember what game came like next or after any other particular game at this point. But another game that not only me and Lucario were playing a lot, or would play a lot, but I also ended up playing with another Skade member, and also with another friend that Lucario actually met through playing this game. It was it was Sea of Thieves.
So long?
Yeah.
It'll still take up about an hour or so for them to do that fort.
Yeah.
We've got plenty of time. My problem is we got to get out of here before this rank 1 Reaper catches us. It's coming directly at us, but I think it's because it's coming for the Fort of the Damned. So if we speed up and go as fast as we can, we should avoid it.
Is it to our right by any chance?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a gallon, so it isn't that fast.
Now, it may sound like you have the simplest job, but in reality, you have the most important job. Because if you don't get the treasure
Isn't it
chests,
you the most important job because you have to get the chest?
if he doesn't get any chests out of the vault, we don't get any gold.
Okay, ready, set, go.
All right, here we go.
So, let's see. If you see here,
Let's go.
this is the vault door. You have to take chest outside of this door. Don't
Okay.
take it
Yep.
all the way outside, just right outside the door.
Just yeah. Just get it past this door, and you're good to go.
Okay.
Come on, door open. And I just need that first medallion.
Take the chest outside.
There's one right there. That's the only one I need.
I don't want the second one.
I just need one.
Okay.
Alright, so. Crown.
Uh, why are there so many of you? Oh wow! Oh my god! Okay, I can see how big this here fort, this vault is, and it's massive.
Oh, even better. I should have been streaming.
Yeah, there are still some more skeletons, and they're up here.
Okay, we're good. Anchor's up.
Just in case you've been living under a rock and for whatever reason you don't know what that game is, it's basically this exploration kind of game where you're a pirate and you're really a lot of the game is actually sailing around the oceans on your basically your pirate ship, and then some of the game is you actually go to various different locations to collect loot, to fight bosses or fight enemies, and then another whole aspect of the game is you kind of return that loot home, basically. And I believe between me and Lucario playing this, and I think the other people I played this game with, I believe I played this for about a few months, and I even have some videos, some YouTube content of this game on my channel. But I think after a while, I think it was the person that Lucario that me and Lucario would play with either stopped playing, or I think I got to a point where I just didn't want to play anymore, or I forget what the deal is, like how we why we stopped playing it, but it's I guess at a certain point we kind of all got burned out, I guess. But It's definitely a game that maybe at some point I'd like if maybe me and Lucario could revisit, or maybe even better, maybe I could play along with some other skaters, or though though pretty much all the time I played Sea of Thieves, I've always aspired to play Sea of Thieves with Telly, or Telliasin, because for my skate viewers who are watching this video, it's but for those who are kind of like just watching, Taliesin is kind of the member of our community who is they're very much into they're very much into like history and geography, and especially Norse history, because they're from Norway, and also they played Sea of Thieves a lot, especially when they even had some IRL friends they played it with. And I've always aspired to play Sea of Thieves with Telly, but they've just been too busy, unfortunately. Though, who knows? Maybe sometime in the future, who knows? Maybe sometime in the future, something could happen. I guess we'll just have to kind of wait and see. As far as what I have to say about it, for me, I guess it just took a little bit of getting into, because it's a very different style of game that I guess that I would consider myself mostly used to. And for a lot of it, I kind of ended up just relying on my friends, just to help me along, and like kind of like as far as where to go, like how to do certain things, and how to do certain things, because whenever I was playing along with my friends, it's like I was given a particular role, somebody has to drive the boat, and then someone else has to collect the loot, and then somebody else has to fight off the enemies. And then I believe I always had my role, which I kind of more or less stuck to. And I guess I just never ended up really learning the other aspects of the game, but it's at some point I would like maybe to revisit that, because it was fun, but I think another game that me and Lucario would play, that me and Lucario played, this wasn't one I think we played too long, but this one is Gunfire Reborn. which is kind of a like cartoon sort of what has like a cartoon kind of art style, but it's this game. It's really just about like where you're leveling up, where you're like it's like you go through these levels, like kind of killing different enemies, and and it's like the game is broken up into different stages, like which I think have maybe a few different levels each, and at the end of every one you fight a boss. And really, I guess the goal of the game is just level up your weapons and your abilities. Like as you gain experience points. And this I kind of like the and I this is another one I kind of enjoyed because it's it's good. I mean, even though it is a shooter, it is kind of laid back, and it's it's just me and Lucario kind of enjoy these kind of laid back kind of but still sort of actiony kind of games, and it might be one that me and Lucario might revisit at some point, but kind of for now, right now, me and Lucario are actually playing a Minecraft mod pack. Though anyway, this next game I'm thinking of is, I guess kind of similar to Gunfire Reborn, but different. This one is Risk of Rain 2, or I think it's Risk of Rain 2, or it might be Risk of Rain, but basically, so like it's, I guess it's kind of similar to Gunfire Reborn, but different. But it's like you're also going through these different levels and leveling up your abilities. But it's with this game, there's a couple different characters you can choose from that have different abilities, and then throughout the game, you basically pick up experience points, and you get the ability to gain certain abilities. And I think there's something like a few hundred different ones that you can choose from, and then many of them actually stack, or so it's like if you get another power up or ability, it's like you get more of that. It's like there's ones that give you more health or more regeneration or more strength or or increase your crit chance on your attack, and if you get another one, if you get another of the same ability, it's like it upgrades it. It's like it gives you more of that ability. And I think every level, you have to defeat this boss at the end, and then that unlocks the portal to the next level. And really the goal is to, I think, make it through so many levels, and then you get to kind of play all over again. Though at the beginning you're very kind of weak, but towards the end of the game, you get quite overpowered, and also the difficulty ramps up pretty significantly as well. And kind of similar to Gunfire Reborn, I kind of enjoyed this one because it's like, it is, you're kind of focusing on like killing enemies and combat and stuff, but in kind of its own, but in some ways it's also kind of laid back. I'm not really sure how to best to explain it, but I guess it's kind of like it's like there's combat and you are killing enemies, but it's not like you're but there are many periods where you can more or less just kind of go around the world and just either explore or collect items or do whatever. And then me and Lucario often help each other. Like if one of us are knocked out, or the other, if there's an opportunity to revive, they will revive me. But if not, they will focus on the beating the level. And I don't really have much else to say about this, but this is another one me and Lucario enjoyed, and maybe sometime in the future we might revisit, but I guess only this we'll see. Then this other game, I think this is the last game I'm gonna talk about that I played with Lucario, though there might be some other games I'm forgetting about, but this one, this game is Bloons Tower Defense 6.
awesome. What the beast?
It's a Steam game, and if any of you probably remember the whole Bloons Tower Defense series, like all the Flash games, this is more or less a continuation of that whole series. That's actually a game that's on Steam. And it's really and really in this one me and Lucario would more or less play together, but I think there's also a multiplayer mode where we can both actually add like the different towers to the map, and it's like we can both. It's like basically a tower defense with co-op, which is actually kind of interesting. And though I believe though it's Lucario kind of all like in a lot of these games ends up kind of playing more than I do, and they end up getting more overpowered than I do. And sometimes we just play sometimes you just play the modes where you have only X amount of waves to get through, but sometimes you also play the modes with unlimited waves, and it's actually quite amazing how far actually how overpowered you can get and just how far you can get in the game. Like I think we probably got a few hundred waves in one time. Though and I don't really have much else to say about this one. That's another one that I also enjoyed playing with Lucario. And who knows, we might also revisit it at some point, but I guess only time will tell for sure. There's this one other game I almost forgot to mention, which is Unturned. Though we didn't really end up playing this one very much. It's like Lucario got stuck on the whole process of creating a server for it, which is a little bit convoluted, but I think we got to a point where we got to play on one world together, but we otherwise didn't get very far in it, and I think we just didn't really play that one for very long. So this kind of brings us to the end of at least all the different games that I played with Lucario, but there's still other games that I also played with Skade, and even some other games that I purchased entirely to play myself. So I guess kind of continuing along with the theme, at least set by Sea of Thieves, there's this other game called that is called Valheim. So pretty much ever since Skate was founded, the Minecraft servers, there was a Valheim server created that and this game pretty much became like a favorite amongst Skate, because it kind of goes into the whole Viking theme that Skate is, and it's basically kind of a survival and it's basically a game with survival and building elements that takes place in the Viking era. And I actually wouldn't play this until I believe a year or two after Skate was founded. Just simply because of like I believe I would have I think I would have purchased it myself, because I think Blue would have talked me into it many times. Like I think many times Blue would mention this game and how it's very fun, and she thinks I'd enjoy it, and so I believe for me it was just a matter of me getting my Social Security income, just because otherwise I would have to ask my mom if she could buy it for me. And it's just like, and I guess I just didn't want to bother her about that, because we're at this point, my kind of money's kind of starting to get tight in my family, and it's kind of like I really would rather use my own money than my family's money, kind of going forward. And well, as soon as I got my income, or my SSI, I believe this is one of the first games I ended up buying with my SSI. And though my experience with this game kind of just left a little let's just say it left a little to be desired. Like, I'm not saying I'm not by any means saying it was bad. Like, I'm not saying I had a bad experience. And like, in fact, I actually quite enjoyed this game, or at least like or at least the building aspect of this game. But the only reason I would say the experience I had playing it left some to be desired is so I joined the server kind of just in a time where everybody was kind of busy doing their own things, and it's I didn't. Don't get me wrong. I did get an introduction. I wasn't like some people. Like, I believe some skaters actually did introduce me to the game, like as far as what to do. But it's I just didn't really get the welcome I really was. I'll just say I didn't get the welcome I really was expecting, just because the majority of the Valheim players were kind of more or less just busy building up the spawn village, and so really how the server was ran was we had our village, that was our spawn village, where pretty much whenever you spawn into the game, you're pretty much right outside of the main village. And how that was to be ran, it was, I guess, kind of similar to I guess only long-term Skate members who come from the old server would get this, but it's, I guess, similar to how Atlantis was ran on the old server, where it's this, it's like everybody has their own, house or apartment per se, but it's, the actual village itself is very much belongs to the community as a whole. It doesn't belong to just one person. And kind of as far as that goes, it's like we have to be like mindful of other people's space, and like we can't like and it's like house like builds have to be limited to a certain size, and we have to it's like wouldn't kind of quite be fair if one player got to build like a giant like mansion basically, where everybody else doesn't get much room, and it's it's like we have to kind of with and also we're it's like within our plots. It's like within your plot per se that you're given, you're allowed to build whatever you want within within reasonable limit limitations. But as far as the village as a whole goes, like any changes that are to be made to the village have to be it has to be something the whole group agrees on before it can go ahead. And every so often, there would be meetings where we would discuss, well, what direction we want to take the village in, and what kind of what should we add to the village, like how and also should we like make adjustments to the rules or whatever. And though but then there's this other sort of aspect of Valheim that let's just say, especially for us, ended up being rather troublesome. And its raids. And basically how those work is every so often in the game there's a chance for a large group of enemies to spawn, kind of in the general vicinity of where the player is, and you have to kind of basically defend yourself against these things, and but kind of as you progress in the game, and especially as you defeat the three different bosses, these raids actually get harder. Like, I think the first one is just like these skeleton enemies. Or I think the first one is just skeletons, but then the next one is trolls, which are these which are basically these giants that like can basically they can deal a lot of damage to you, and it can also do damage to builds. And but then the rates even get crazier from there. I don't really know what the next ones are, but I've been told, I found out later on when playing Valheim that about like how that like I think even later raids there's like these flying like dragon kind of enemies. And but the issue with these raids is not all of us are really let's just say combat ready kind of players, and it's and so like not all of us are playing Valheim because we want to fight these monsters. It's like a lot of us are just playing because we just want to chill, or we just want to chill at our houses, or go out foraging or getting resources, or it's like everybody plays the game differently, and basically, and it got to a point, and it just basically, so it's like how they would and if you're wondering, well, how would they protect the village from these raids? And the answer to that question is, well, they made the Valkyries made a specific ping for raids. Like, it's literally if you're at the village and a raid starts, you are basically instructed to log off, and then basically ping and then do this raid ping, so that like the more at least the players that are actually prepared to deal with the raids can actually take care of it. And this is really just to protect the builds of other players, because it's basically kind of like the same kind of logic as well, don't go to another player's base in Minecraft and set off creepers there, because at that point that is considered griefing, even though it was a creeper that did it. A player had to be there for the creeper to go off, basically. And it's really the same, and it's the same kind of deal with these raids in Valheim. And but kind of the downshot of this is this ended up kind of training me to, well, whenever there's a raid, just log off and do the ping, and for the players who specifically had to deal with raids, basically the game just became less and less fun as time goes on, because they just feel like half the time they're logging on to the Valheim servers just to deal with the raids, and I can't blame them. And so and then for me, and then this ended up just creating a problem that meant that, well, when the time comes that I actually want to build out from the village and kind of build in my own area, that largely meant that, well, if a raid happens, I'm going to have to deal with those myself. And the problem is I was never taught how to actually fight a raid. I was just taught to log off and do the ping. And, well, let's just say this led to a few moments that, let's just say ended in a rage quit. Because I just didn't know what to do. I was just minding my own business, and then all of a sudden the big troll shows up, and I don't know how to deal with it. And But then kind of where things got even more interesting is I really I really wanted to actually start recording, actually making videos of me playing on the Valheim server, kind of just like I've done with a lot of my other games. But I ran into this kind of this problem that just really infuriated me, and it's really a problem that didn't even need to exist. But well, I promise I'm gonna be nice about this. But let's just say there was this group of players that it's like one day I just kind of posted in the Valheim channel on the Skade Discord that, hey, I actually want to start recording videos soon. But then then shortly after that there is there is a downvote emoji, like a downvote kind of reaction appeared that a few other people reacted to, and this set off alarm bells for me. But I was not the only one. It also set off alarm bells for Blue and other players as well. And this even and there even was a whole meeting held literally just for all of us to kind of chat with like for all of us to kind of talk about this, and well, what problem does this group of players, does this vocal minority of players have with me recording videos? And I'm not going to name who these players are, but it was, I would say, maybe three or four players that didn't want me to record. And it wasn't just that it's like there was this whole uncertainty that was like we weren't sure if they didn't want me recording videos, period, or if it was just they didn't want me recording videos in front of their house or whatever. But even if it was just I can't record videos of while they're at their house, that just sets a precedent where, like, I have to basically edit, like, it's like whenever I'm like going through the village, I have to go out of my way to edit their house out of my videos or blur it out or do whatever to like hide it. And that's just to me that's just a very unreasonable kind of expectation, because there's nothing really I can do about like just walking by their house. Like, I mean, like walking in their house to record would be one thing, because at that point it's sort of like breaking and entering, or violating their privacy, because well, that would be like me on Midgard walking into somebody else's portal room and into their base without their permission. But there's no rule against me walking by somebody's portal room while I'm recording, as long as I don't go in, it's fine. But apparently on Valheim, me walking by their house, or the house of these vocal minority players, did not sit right with them. And it's just, this meeting actually got drawn out to be like a couple of hours long, and it was just it just kept going around and around, oh, why, it's just like, it just, we kept, it's, we kept trying to ask these players questions, about, why do they not want me to record, and we just kept going around and around, and it really, it kind of ended off, we kind of ended off the meeting, at least luckily for me, the meeting ended off with a strong verdict for me that, yes, I have the right to record on Valheim, and even record in the village, but those players ended up moving their house out of the village anyway. I have no idea if that had anything to do with me, but that ended up not being a problem in the end. But unfortunately for me, right after that meeting was over, there had to be another meeting, and this was about the whole future of but this was just addressing that the future of the server, of the Valheim server, is hanging in the balance because of the whole just because the raids were really getting out of hand, and were really wearing down, which were really kind of at least for the players whose job it was to deal with the raids at the village, they were really getting out of hand, and it was just basically killing a lot of people's desire to play the game. And it even got to a point where the Valkyries had to basically had to say, no beating the next boss. It's going to make the raids even harder. And it just kind of, for a little bit, it just kind of ended up being, we had to not do any other boss fights, and more or less, at that point, the game just became, just a kind of like a more realistic Minecraft, basically. And but then I believe Alyssa and maybe some of the other Valkyries came up with a solution to this, which is to actually host two Valheim servers. One so it's like we'd keep the original Valheim server, but disable raids, and but then we'd have a more I guess hardcore Valheim server where raids are turned on, and if players want to beat the bosses and do all that stuff, if they want to do that part of the game, they can do it on another server without affecting the main server. And, I mean, I guess in Valheim's defense, it became very apparent to us that the developers of Valheim really did not intend the game to be played like a big server, sort of like how Minecraft is hosted in multiplayer. It's not like the game has a 10-player cap for multiplayer, and even then, I'm guessing the developers didn't really intend maybe more than 4 or 5 players to be playing their game at a time. It was maybe like seeing more than 5 people in a game would probably be kind of uncommon. So, like, why allow more than 10? And so that was all well and good, and at that point, it's just kind of after the whole thing is after that whole meeting was held, and kind of because of that, and also in between me having to deal with raids myself now that I've moved my house outside of the village, I would have to. It just the game kind of just stopped being fun for me, and I was counting on the disabling of the raids to actually be my savior, but then right as that was about to be rolled out, the developers release an update that basically breaks this whole thing. Like, it makes it so raids cannot be disabled. Like, they can't be turned off. And well, we're basically just stuck with that problem. And really at that point the game just essentially died, because well, the game didn't die, but just we stopped playing it because a lot of us were just tired of dealing with that, like dealing with the raids, and it was really just this catch-22 where it's if people progress too far in the game becomes too hard for everybody else, and that's kind of largely where most of us are at with Valheim, and maybe in the future, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe in the future Valheim makes a comeback on Skate, but for now, it's just for now, it's kind of like interest in it's kind of largely dead, like outside of I mean, I guess there's a few people that still play it, but it's for the most part the public server is I don't even know if that server's still even up now, but it's just it's just the game just got too hard for me to deal with. So yeah. Though maybe at some point in the future, if there ever is a solution to that problem, I might consider revisiting Valheim, but it's, as far as I'm aware, that's just the way the developers want their game to be. So I guess that's just how it's going to stay, unless something changes in the future. But I guess to kind of go into I guess on a more positive note, another game, so this one actually, Aquena actually introduced me to, and it's also a game that's very much up my alley, but this one is called Factorio. and it's basically you're like mining. It's like you're pretty much building you're pretty much building out a big factory, and your goal is to kind of like get like a bunch of machines automatically making resources, and then your goal is to eventually make to eventually make a rocket to launch a satellite into space. And I think there's even like a post game element where like you try to see how many rockets you can actually make. And what's also interesting about Factorio, and also another thing about Factorio is it's like 2-dimensional, or like top down, and but the other thing about Factorio is there's also like enemies that you have to fight, which are called biters, and there's also this whole element where your machines actually make a cloud of pollution, and if that pollution actually reaches the biter nests, they will it'll aggro the biters, and then they will go to attack your base, and and then you have to defend yourself against those. Though later in the game you do unlock various weapons, like including turrets, and even like flamethrower turrets, and even like nuclear bombs, which you can use to basically defend against the biters. And it's really, while it's like if you're playing normal Factorio, you are basically expanding your factory while also defending it from biters. Though there's also mods that turn off. Well, there's mods that remove the biters, and even in game there's a peaceful mode where they don't attack you unless you attack them. So there are ways to play Factorio in peaceful, which I personally only done peaceful Factorio. I've never done like non-peaceful Factorio before. But maybe at some point that could be a challenge that I could do. But I think I played maybe like 3 or 4 different worlds of Factorio, but I think only in one I actually made it to the end, though that was probably after playing for several hundreds of hours. Because you get to a point where your starter where the spaghetti of your starter factory becomes too much of a hindrance for you, and you basically have to tear down your whole starter factory and build your better factory, which actually is going to have which would actually have organization and expandability in mind. And you can just play until you've launched your one rocket and then you finish the game, or you can keep playing and see how many rockets per hour you can make. And then there's also modded Factorio, which is a completely different game, which I've never actually gotten into yet. Though this game is definitely one of my most favorites, and it's a game that even today I sometimes revisit, that sometimes I revisit even today. Though kind of staying on the keep staying on the theme of factory games, there's this other game called Satisfactory. Which I think I actually have even more time into than Factorio, which is where this game is actually 3D and first person, and though the main difference from Factorio is the where Factorio had I think procedural world generation. Satisfactory does not. Like the world's the same every time you play. And the resource nodes are in Satisfactory are infinite, but in Factorio you have actually finite resources. And then once you've mined up one ore patch, you have to tear down your miners and then move on to the next ore patch. Whereas in Satisfactory, you don't have to really worry about that. You can just mine one ore patch indefinitely. And in Satisfactory also has some monsters, but they don't really, but unlike in Factorio, they really don't bother you unless you bother them. And they also do not spawn around your builds. So there's also that. Though apart from that, Satisfactory is basically just sort of like Factorio, but 3D and better graphics. Though actually, as I'm making this video, there's this other game. There's this other type of factory building game that's actually coming on the horizon. That actually one skater has brought up. and even recommended that we start a server for, and I think they've even given it to me. They've even gifted the game to me, and this game is called Foundry, and I guess it's kind of similar to Satisfactory, but I haven't actually really played it yet or even seen videos of it yet, so it's gonna be an entirely new experience for me until I find the time to play it. But it was definitely very nice of them to gift the game to me because I'm in a kind of a hard time with money right now. My family's really struggling, and it's basically I can't really buy anything apart from food right now. So it's very, very nice of them to actually gift me that game. And so I was thinking, well, I guess I'm not going to be able to play that until our money gets better. But I guess I get to play it now, which is if I want, which is really nice. So this next game is not so much about factory building, but it's more about exploration and I guess building bases. And this one is Subnautica.
Passing 100. Oxygen efficiency decreased. New blueprint acquired. The region. Passing 200 meters. Oxygen efficiency greatly decreased. Integrating new PDA data. New blueprint acquired. Signal location uploaded to PDA. Integrating new PDA data.
And this is one I kind of wanted to play because I believe I would have seen my ex-community owner play that game on their YouTube channel, and I think also one of my Skate friends also play this game. And I think just seeing them play it was enough for me to want to buy the game myself. Though I don't think I ended up buying it. I think I ended up grabbing it on Epic Games for free. And I really quite enjoy the exploration and the building elements of this game. Though I haven't really I haven't really beaten the game yet, and because I kind of have this tendency, especially with these kind of open world games that have a story element to them, is just I kind of like to more or less do my own thing, and sometimes I kind of go off the path of the story. And whenever I want to progress with the story, sometimes I have to look up walkthroughs, both in video and web page form, just so I kind of know what the next thing I should do is. And even though I haven't beaten Subnautica yet, it's definitely a game I would like to beat at some point. And I've even heard there's even a Subnautica 2 coming on the horizon, but I'm just concerned about how polished it's gonna be, and also how demanding it's gonna be, because it just seems like a lot of new games in this day and age, the developers just don't seem to care about releasing a polished game. Like or even releasing an optimized game. And it's just they seem to more care about just getting something out the door and getting that money, instead of just actually making a game that people actually would want to play. And I don't want to be pessimistic, but it's just I've already been let down by Kerbal Space Program 2's launch, and I don't know if Cities Skylines 2's launch was good or bad, but I've heard a lot of people say that launch was bad, though a few skaters still actually like that game. And though I guess I'm just gonna have to wait and see how Subnautica 2's launch plays out, but I'm not holding my breath for it, that's for sure. It's just because of what I've seen from other game launches. And and speaking of bad game launches, another game that was unfortunately ruined by a bad launch was No Man's Sky. this game, when it first launched, like, it left a lot to be desired. I mean, it's like the game was there. It's like you could play it, you could explore and do whatever you want, but it's like there was not much to do. There wasn't really much of a story. Like the story element wasn't there, and there just wasn't really much content at launch. And if there was a lot of content hyped, let's just say this probably left a lot of people disappointed. And No Man's Sky has gotten lots of updates since then, and it's even gotten updates as of recently, and I haven't really played it that much just because I don't really have any friends that are playing it. So it's like whenever I want to play it, it's kind of I have to play by myself. But it's my problem. It's just, well, not that I really have a problem with the game, but it's like for me, it's more like just like if I have any problem with No Man's Sky, like for me, the game is just more, it's just more the pacing of the game that like you just, it's like in order to do like any one particular task, it's just, or like say you want to get resources to build a new to expand your base, like, or if you want to build, or if you want to buy a new ship, or like, or even just get an upgrade for your ship, or for your freighter, or for whatever. It's like you have to probably spend like 30 minutes to an hour just like going around and exploring and like talking to different to the different NPCs at different areas, and like collecting different resources from different planets, some even from different like different galaxies or systems that you have to travel to. And like I have no issue with the exploration part, like how much of the game you can explore. Like there's like No Man's Sky, like I think it's even said that it even has a bigger, at least the amount of possible at least its world in terms of how many planets that you can actually go to. It's like I think it's even bigger than Minecraft's world, like in terms of like how big of an area there actually, a potential area there is to explore. It's just crazy. And it's just, I have no problem with the whole aspect of going to different planets and exploring, but it's just more just the pacing. It's like how long it takes to actually progress in the game, because it's like I feel like I'd play for a few hours at a time, and it's like before, and it's like it's like there's still a lot to do to actually accomplish this goal that I set for today, but I've already been playing for 5 or 6 hours, so it's like, do I want to play for another 3 hours, or do I want to take a break? And it's like I don't want to take a break. I want to keep playing till until I've achieved that, until I've accomplished whatever goal I've set out to do. It was just kind of hard for me to kind of say, oh, you've been playing No Man's Sky for 6 hours, you should probably take a break. And so I guess it's just easier. I guess it was just easier for me to just take a break in general from that game. But maybe at some point I would like to revisit that, especially if somebody wants to play it with me. I've actually been recording for over an hour now, so I feel like it would be good to end this video off here. And I'm not there's still more games for me to cover, but I'm at the point where I'm kind of reaching the end of the series, though there might be one or two more videos, but it's this has been quite the journey, though, and I'm not saying this is the last video, but probably the next video or the next video after that might be. So if you liked what you saw, remember to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you want to see more of my videos, be sure to hit the bell for notifications. And also, if you want to see more videos of the series, and this is me, Dusty Circuit, signing off. Peace out. Bye.